backwards or right.
Comes out backwards. I
Anyway.
don't give a mouse.
Rat.
A mouse pulling a donkey.
It's a
Rat's
rat
ass.
owns an ass.
Or is that a rat?
A rat's ass, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Cat.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Pat.
Hello, Jerry.
Mhm. Your husband faded out. I guess the transporter is having glitches there.
Yeah. Oops, we lost Colin somehow.
Yeah, he'll be back, I predict.
Yeah.
He's trying to put his shirt on inside out so it shows right.
Oh, okay.
So we won't have BKM or Whittemore, I guess.
We'll wait and see.
He must have the setting on video called on mirrored mode. There he is. There he is.
This meeting is called to order at 4:34 p.m. for anyone who's recording it.
That's in 3 minutes.
Oh, well, excuse me. That's right. My computer is not accurate. Okay, wait. 4:31 p.m.
Works for me.
Pacific Standard Time. So welcome, everybody. I had hoped we'd be meeting in person at this time.
Yeah.
6 months ago, but it's hitting.
Yeah, I know. Well, 6 months from now, for sure.
I hope.
Yeah, right.
I hope. Other people I know have it this time.
Eric Decker.
Yeah.
Couple
of mine
down
came
at the
down
end of
with
the
it.
street has it, and my daughter and her fiance have it.
My friend Pablo has it.
Pablo.
Yeah.
So far, none of
Derek.
us. Derek.
Howdy.
So, have you all, the principal thing today is the memo of understanding. I promised Luke we'd get back to him with comments. He updated the July 14, 2017 memo of understanding and sent it to me in June of this year, of 2021. And I've been stalling him off, and because of the uncertainty of the COVID, but I promised him comments after our meeting today. So I would like to get that settled. Do you have any comments? Have you all got it or read it?
No,
I did.
I didn't read it. I don't know if I got it or not. But
Okay.
I
I
trust
did.
your judgment, Jerry.
The only
Okay.
thing that worried me was the bit about we shall keep it quiet. And we'll do what we can do, but if somebody shows up with, 5 people on loud Harleys, there's nothing we can do. And I'm sure they understand that.
Yeah. I think they mean just
They're
among
talking
us.
about stuff. I took that to mean more at 10:30 to 11.
Well,
It seems like all the time, but we've had megaphones in the past. And,
yeah.
and that's what got this started.
Oh,
And I'm sure that they don't want megaphones.
yeah.
They don't want a repeat of any megaphone incidents.
Yeah, that was a big
Well,
no-no at one of the astronomy days. I think it was Ruben that got on the megaphone. And
Yeah. I got some.
Yeah, no
complaints.
need for megaphones.
So don't we have a decibel limit that we're supposed to stay under because of the museum's,
yeah,
their use permit?
yes.
So I'm assuming he wants us to keep under that. Do any of us know that limit or the?
No.
It is specified in their conditional use permit, and it's pretty loud. It was to keep the general announcement at the museum, like, oh, planetarium show starts in 15 minutes, from
Oh.
being heard in the parking lot.
Okay. Okay.
Because they have a PA system and they had speakers on the outside walls, and that was
Uh-huh.
causing a problem with the one neighbor.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
In one part of this MOU,
Yeah. Memo
Yes.
of understanding.
it says that we are to be reading something and signing it. And where is that? When is that going to be happening?
Yeah.
Which part are you reading that in?
I think he's got his cursor on it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
at the very bottom.
Got to pass the standard background check there.
I
Yeah,
think we've all done that.
yeah, and there's an additional requirement now that everybody be vaccinated.
Well, I haven't read or been aware of an SBAU outreach volunteers handbook.
That's what I'm referring to, really.
Right.
Well,
This is one of the things that because we're not actually museum docents and we're there at night and we're not the normal group, that we haven't really done this. So we'll probably have to come in and do this.
Okay,
Oh, okay. And Chuck, we have the background checks that we did for the Girl Scout, and then we did it again for somewhere.
For the
Are we up to-
museum,
Are we up to date on that?
I think it's up to them to tell us if we need to update it.
yeah.
Okay.
As far as I
Okay.
know, we are.
I got
Rebecca
the-
seems to.
I got
consult-
to go ahead that I'm okay to do outreach.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
That
Rebecca will
brings up,
tell us.
that brings up a subject I had. I read the MOU. I didn't see anything bad with it.
okay,
The only question is, do we have to, and I think it even got addressed in there that we don't. Do we need to add the museum's logo to our clothes too?
No,
Like-
they wanted it taken off.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
that's what
really?
I, because we're doing that on our own, so we don't really have to use their logo, only on our outreach material. Is that what it
No,
said?
well, it changes. At one point, they had a logo. They had their condor, and they wanted us to put Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History like in our logo,
Yeah.
and we did that. Then they got a new graphics person who said, no, logos are out. Just use text. You got to just use text, and please take it. We're concerned that it's on your club logo. Please take it off.
Oh my God.
So we took it off where it was easy to take off, but we had already a bunch of shirts with it on it, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
And,
do.
and
Don't our
last
coffee
I
mugs
heard,
have-
they changed, of course, they changed from the condor to the whale logo. And
yeah,
last I heard, they have no logo, it's only text, and they don't seem to care. For a while, we had to even wear, when we were doing planetarium shows, we had to wear museum shirts that
Wow.
had their logo and everything. And now all
Wow.
that seems to have faded away. So I think if we just don't bring it up, everything will be fine.
but we do wear these tags when we're
Yeah,
outreaching.
yes.
Now, as far as I remember, Jim Williams' logo does not have the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History. in
It does. It does. In the little banner at the
Yeah,
bottom.
And that's okay.
Excuse me, Jerry, you mentioned wearing tags during outreaching?
yeah,
Where
they
are
give
we
us,
supposed
they
to,
give us
where are we
these kind
supposed to
of,
get those?
from them.
That's
I
Rebecca.
forget that I got them from Javier, but,
That's Rebecca.
Rebecca,
and she-
that's it.
Rebecca has the information that you've passed your background check and that your vaccination stuff is in, and she will make you the ID cards.
Yeah,
That may be out of date, because I communicated with Rebecca around the end of December, just to prove that I had vaccination. And
yeah.
I asked about name tags and she didn't care.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, well,
She looked at my name tag and said, "Oh, you have your logo and everything. You have a special name tag. It's not the normal kind of reddish brown and white one that the museum has. I'll have to make sure that in the future we get you guys logos that match that."
Oh,
You
wow.
know? So that's
You
another
know-
sort of thing that I don't think anybody will notice.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, at
Along
this point,
these same
everybody's just
lines.
worried about COVID. Anything else is superfluous.
Okay,
along this same line, as the secretary also, I maintain a master. And I can provide membership lists to officers and things like that. And I probably should start keeping status in there of people who are certified outreach,
Yeah.
and then provide as a minimum a list to Chuck. But I can do that. But if there's any other things we need to track in terms of our membership, like do we need to track who's been vaccinated? I don't know.
yeah, I think we do.
Well, let me know what you think we need to track, and I can set it up so that within the membership records, we track that. And then if even like if you want a monthly update to an email list, then I won't have to send out emails unless somehow they need to be
To everyone.
vetted, you know.
I think we want to keep each topic with a central point of authority. So for emailing out official things from the club, it should always be one person. I know
Okay, well,
it's
what I
been-
basically am doing is I have two lists.
Yeah,
One is just who wants to get the newsletter,
yeah,
and then one of memberships of everybody that has said they'll accept email. If they say they don't want email, they're not on that list, but I
Okay.
still got their email.
that's fine. So unless everybody objects, I think my preference is that you would stay the central point. Anything we want distributed to the membership goes to you and you send it out. I don't
Okay, now
want,
the only other question, does it go to the secretary or the treasurer?
aren't you both?
Whose job is it?
Well, I have a
Just out of
separate outreach
curiosity, I mean,
list.
I'm doing it either way, but I'm wondering, do we need to clarify any of that stuff? There's somewhere places where they overlap, you know,
Yeah,
who picks up the mail? And when I pick up the mail, who takes the money and gives it to the treasurer?
Well, some of that is in the job descriptions that we have.
Yeah, we just probably ought to at least surround all that stuff up and have it available someplace.
It's on the webpage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a job description for each category.
Okay.
I've been maintaining a separate outreachy list. A lot of the people aren't even members. And I
I
have a lot of
understand
trouble.
that.
I
See,
have a
I
lot of
could even
trouble with
add
my,
them to the list as non-members.
yeah.
But
I had a lot of trouble with my email going out and suddenly, in October, starting to not get to a lot of people. And so I purged the list quite a bit. So when we actually have an in-person meeting or when we have the next Zoom meeting, I'm going to say, look, if you want to be on the outreach list, let me know, because I had to purge the list quite a bit. And it was a lot of people that weren't members, like, some people would say, oh, my boyfriend's interested. Can you stick him on too? And stuff like that. And I just kind of got rid of those people if I didn't recognize them as regular outreach contributors.
well, with the museum's restrictions,
Yeah.
have you considered doing independent outreach, or do you have to clarify anything with them?
Well, I mainly the only people that are doing outreach right now are the people that the museum has said, hey, you're okay. You've provided the proof of vaccination and stuff. Anybody else, if they show up, I'm just considering them a member of the public. So they're not getting outreach credit, and especially if they're not vaccinated. But that hasn't been a problem. There's only been one person that showed up to several outreaches that I was unaware was unvaccinated. And mostly that was before I heard from Rebecca that she needed to have the vaccination. Okay.
Well, I'll coordinate with Rebecca and update the master list for whatever categories we need from her. And
Yeah.
if there's other categories anyone needs to add, let me know, and we can add that to the membership record.
And can I make one comment?
go ahead, Tim.
It may not be applicable here, but I mean, Joe, for you were talking about the little plaques. There is a little, what is it, a badge, Chuck, a little stick-on thing that
It's
you
a little
get.
pin.
Yeah,
It's a little pin that says I'm vaccinated.
Yeah.
And so that goes along with the badge.
Okay,
So I don't know if you're aware of that, Joe, but that's something I think that we're supposed to have too.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're supposed to have it. Connie has it, but she's a regular volunteer.
Okay.
Well, we're supposed to have it
kinda
too.
like Sherlock Holmes's irregulars.
Yeah. Well, we're supposed to have it too.
no, we're not
participate
irregular
officially.
that way. We have to conform to the museum's policies in order to be under their insurance umbrella. So we have to be at least a little regular.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but I again, when I checked in with Rebecca, she didn't send me any of that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
She must not care a whole lot.
Rebecca is counting on me to hand out the vaccination pins to people.
Oh,
So, and I don't think it's something that anyone will notice again, but we should conform to the museum's policies.
Yeah.
Now, does Colin have to know that too?
Well, he should know, people who are certified for outreach, and that would include the vaccination status.
Okay, okay.
I think all the officers need to be aware of everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but nobody's going to send out mass mailings except Colin and Tom Totten for the various webinars that we're doing. Sends out the stuff. Do you think that Colin should have the list of people that are attending those also? Probably.
Well, I can maintain it either way. That one of the projects I've got in mind, if and when I get to it, is to actually take the membership list we have, because many of them, they probably don't care anymore. There's probably people who would like to be added that haven't contacted us just because, membership is basically free right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, take all that and actually make a form, get it and send it by mail.
Okay.
And say, do you really care anymore? Do you want to change anything? This is what I got. I could even do that by email, I guess. But I just have to remember to be sensitive to the fact that it is personal information.
Okay.
Address and all of that stuff in it.
Okay. So if you look at the
Another good
MOU,
reason to keep it as a central master. So, you got it protected a bit.
yeah, we need a central place where everybody knows they can get that information.
Mhm.
So in the MOU, you notice that a line monthly telescope building workshop has been lined through. And so that will come out of the MOU as it's written. And the reason for that is because we still do the monthly telescope workshops. We've been doing them for almost a year now by Zoom. And we have people regularly attending the workshop that are too far away to drive to the workshop. So if we went back to the building, those people could not attend. So I told Luke that we were probably going to continue that as a virtual meeting, and he would love to have the Broder building for classwork. So then he lined that out based on our conversations. If there's
Those aren't
some,
monthly, that's weekly.
that's weekly, every week. So if there's some strong reason that we want to go back to in-person meetings, then we need to discuss that, and I can make a pitch to try and get it reinstated. But I'm personally in favor of the Zoom meeting.
Well, but I could see where you might want to do it in the future. It's nice to have a common place to, if you're actually doing work in the workshop, to have a place where you've got all of your communal grit.
Yes, that's a good point. Let me finish this, Jim. That's a good point, but we're not allowed to do that. We can go to the Broder building from 7:30 to 9 p.m. and we have to schlep all of our equipment in, set it up, do our work, break it down, and get out of there by 9. So, or
Well, maybe we could make an agreement with them that we could actually do Zoom meetings from there, or some number of classworks.
Colin,
Broadcast it and
kind of
show
didn't work
actual
that way.
mirror grinding and theory and all that.
I was
Just a
really the
thought.
only game in town. I was the only guy bringing anything anyway.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will mention that is an issue is that we were getting a lot of members of the public bringing in their telescopes that wondered how to use them. They wanted to know how to fix them. People wanted to know how to build a scope. And that's something that you really are going to be without. And
I get a lot of requests for just that. Is
Yeah.
there someone in the club that I
I'm
can
not-
take my scope to?
I'm not going to go out into the public like I was. I'm not going to go visit guys' houses anymore. Not going to do that until COVID's gone.
Yeah.
So I think that he's got it right.
But
Well,
we
for
have,
now, but my question is, in the future,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
okay, let me make a point here that, and I forgot my point. We do have people coming to the Zoom meeting that do just that. They don't have to bring their scope in. They get on Zoom with their scope and we walk them through what's probably wrong with it.
That's a good idea.
Who was that lady that came in a couple times?
You know, I mean to make
I
a
forget her
comment here.
name.
The Tuesday Zooms, the times I've dialed in, it's been pretty inaccessible. It's pretty much
What do
a
you mean?
bunch of old
inaccessible?
bastards talking about obscure minutia, and it's never seemed accessible to people who weren't in the world already. I don't know if anybody heard what I just said or not. Somebody's
Yeah,
fucking
I heard it, but I don't quite follow it.
Well, what Joe's talking about is that lately it's been a lot of just extreme detail on setting up astrophotography equipment and how to run it from your PC and the astrophotography processing. It's not stuff that the general public who's just first coming to the club is interested in. But it's not like those people aren't accommodated if they show up, Joe. If they do show up on the Zoom, they get taken care of, I think.
I
Besides,
don't
we
know. The
do.
times that I've been there, I've seen newbies that have been completely ignored.
Oh,
And maybe that was the exception, not the rule. But I don't think that's a very good venue. Well, I mean, if they were aggressive, maybe they weren't ignored, but I've just seen people that got left behind.
I know what
I
you're
can't
talking
think
about.
of any
Joe.
time that happened. I think we've always accommodated newbies that we didn't recognize and tried to ask them as soon as we could without breaking our conversation and ask them what they needed. And I think we've been accommodating to.
Or maybe
couple
I just
folks,
came in
so-
that the few times it happens were the one that I was there. Maybe.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, Joe. There was a fellow from Isla Vista that came in and he remained kind of silent for a long time. And finally he said, you know, I do want to say something. And I want to say one more thing about the Zoom meetings that's really true. That's that it's kind of a fairly new media for us. And we've had comments from some people that we're talking over each other, we're interrupting. It becomes a little bit annoying, to be honest with you. I ran into a fellow at a grocery store yesterday that said he doesn't come anymore to the Zoom meetings because of it. And I don't want to mention names, okay? But he's not coming because of an issue he had at a Zoom meeting. I think it's a new media. I think it's hard for people to know when someone has stopped talking and it's okay to talk. I really keep going back to Tom Totten because he is just fantastic at this. You know, when the guy from Isla Vista got ignored, he stopped everyone and he said, folks, we need to listen to him. And I mean, he's doing a great job. It's a new medium for us. We have to get used to it. And I think that if we give ourselves a chance, we're going to be fine.
I agree. Also, I don't know, but when I speak, I get a yellow frame around my image.
Yeah.
And so does everyone else. So I kind of use that. But I know what you mean. You have to be a good Zoom citizen if you want Zoom to work well.
Well, maybe we need to go to a more strict Robert's Rules of Order. where
Well, give
people
Tom
don't-
Totten the
Now
speaking
stop. That's
piece.
an example.
Do what the
That's an
Native
example.
Americans did.
That's an example, Colin.
Use
Where
a
no one
talking
starts,
stick.
no one starts talking when just because they they have an idea in their head and they don't want to lose it, or because they think they hear a pause in the conversation. And so the moderator would make sure that a person got all of his thought out without interruption. And then everybody else, if they want the floor, would raise their hand, and then the moderator would recognize them. That way, the person that wants to talk doesn't have to be aggressive to butt in.
Well, that's,
Chuck, you're next, Chuck.
Yeah, there is an actual raise hand action that you can do. Down under reactions, there's raise hand, and you get a little symbol like that in the upper left, and it pops you up to a point where you're in prominence. And so that's the way people could then say to Tom, hey, I want to speak.
Oh, you're right, it does.
I don't have that. I don't have that.
well, that's what I was saying, like to use a talking stick, but that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have another comment on
Wait,
that.
Farshad's got his hand up first.
Yes, I got my hand up if you noticed.
Oh, how dare you?
I noticed that Colin has a t-shirt up on top It's a mirror image. It says, I don't give a, but I can't read the rest of it. Colin, can you pull it up so we can see?
It's backwards.
It's a rat holding a jackass.
Oh, okay,
I
thank you.
doesn't-
I don't give a rat's ass. I realize that I can set my mirror as an image or as a mirror image, and that would change it so it would look right, but it's not set.
Thank you, Colin.
So for the workshop, how many people are in favor of stricter Robert's Rules of Order being recognized? Do you think we
Well,
have to try that?
Can we make another comment before we vote on that?
Okay, go ahead.
My one caveat to all of this is that Tom Totten's doing a lot. And if he's the guy that's going to be fielding this, that's just one more layer of difficulty for him.
No, it has
I mean-
nothing to do with him.
Okay.
This
Well,
is
no,
on
he-
everybody's machine. And he's still running doing the webmastering stuff.
But he
One
would
of the
still have
things you
to,
can do
Colin,
is just have him, when you first start the meeting, say, okay, let's all be good citizens. If you want, make a set of rules. Not everyone's, only one person speaks at a time, brevity, all of the rules that go along with the standard. If you've ever attended a meeting where they have a talking stick, they have a set of rules. If you present those rules in the beginning, then there usually isn't a problem. If you start going to Robert's Rules of Order, it's probably not something I'd be interested in.
I think you're describing
Too
Robert's
rigid
Rule
for
of
me.
Order as the solution. We don't have to use every single rule that Robert has. But, we at each meeting, you could have, if I'm there, I could be the moderator. If I'm not there, Tom could be the moderator. But it's just this hand thing, because if you leave it up to everybody to try and be a good citizen, I'm sure everybody will try, but they won't know. At some point they have to interject to say, I want to talk or something. That should be a smooth operation, just visually with the hands.
Mhm.
I think it's the way we run HOA meetings. And
Yeah, I've run several Zoom meetings and I don't have a problem with it either.
okay. I don't think anyone here probably has a problem with that. You're next, Tim, that has a problem with that. It's just that we've lost some people because some people do have a problem with it. The rest of us don't recognize that they had a problem, but it doesn't mean the problem isn't there.
Mhm.
Okay, Tim, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. And Jerry, it sounds like a great plan, but I think we better ease into it. Because like I said, it's a new medium. It's going to be something that I think we're going to have to refine as we go along.
Okay,
That's it from me.
so now how many people would vote in favor of running the telescope workshop with a raised hand meme or whatever they're called?
Other hand, yeah.
I think that was 6 people out of 9.
Well, there's 10.
No, there's only 9 people I see. Oh, that's right. Oh, sorry. 7 people out of 8 people out of 10. So we'll adopt that at the next Tuesday meeting and see how it goes. Okay, thank you. So that, yes, Chuck?
I have a question for Colin. Just out
Yeah.
of curiosity, have you gotten any donations from the Miramar?
I don't, not right recently. I
Okay.
probably haven't checked for a week or two.
Oh,
Last
it would-
donation
I
I
don't
got,
think
I
it-
think, was from the winery.
Okay.
But we do have issues with the museum's accounting now that they're switching.
Okay.
Tom Totten, I give him there's just a PO I wrote 3 months ago and he's still not gotten paid.
Wow.
So, and I'll just resubmit it.
Thank you, Colin.
Okay,
But I'll watch for it. I'll check this week and if I
so
see it,
Now, the next vote is the memo of understanding. I didn't hear anyone really objecting to it. There's a lot of talk about it, but I'm of the mind to go ahead and tell Luke that it's acceptable to us. Show
Sure.
of hands, how many agree with that position? Okay, that looks like, 6, 7, 8 out of 10.
Jerry, I don't vote because I'm not part of the board, so
No, everyone who attends the meeting can vote.
then I.
Okay, 9 out of 10. Okay,
I did read
I'll
it.
inform Luke and I'll get back to you, but I expect that we'll accept this memo of understanding between the two organizations.
Can I ask you,
Baron?
can I ask a quick question about that memorandum, that piece of that
Yes.
document?
Yes.
Why are some words crossed out and then repeated verbatim, spelled exactly the same way? Is that the word therefore, the word astronomy?
I don't know about those two, but some of the changes, I think the ones in red, there was poor wording in my wife's opinion, and so she made those changes. So I noticed the case by case has hyphens put in it in her version.
No, these are lines through a word and then it repeats the
Yeah.
exact same word.
Yeah, this is in Word. This is on a Mac. This is a system that traces changes. So you can either apply the changes or undo them. And so you see the outgoing word and the incoming word together. I can't describe it more than that.
Yeah, and that may be a case where somebody made a change and then decided, oh, no, wait a minute, let's leave
Yeah.
that in, and it would still look
that's-
that way.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay.
Now, Pat, didn't you have a question about the sales tax and all that on the sale of?
We need to have a meeting.
Okay, yeah, we need a separate meeting about the whole sales tax thing
A meeting with who? The museum?
Counting,
with, yeah, Colin and the accounting people.
Okay.
that's part of what we're trying to do is, we don't even know, I can't, well, it's just, I need to do it with the accounting zone.
Okay. So will you set that meeting up, Colin?
I'll talk to the museum, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You sent an email.
Okay, Pat looks like she's holding back something there. No? Okay.
No, I'm good. Thank you, Jerry.
Any other topics anyone wants to cover? Okay, we'll start on the upper right on my screen, the Baron.
Okay. We have 3, not 4 speakers. And it's about 3 or 4 weekends or Fridays from this weekend, I do believe, right? The 4th of February, we're having our first online meeting. A couple quick questions. You and Chuck are going to talk. And Chrissy Cook's going to give us an update on the Kids Astronomy Club
Right.
that we helped launch for the the Scouts. Do you two have your topics we could tease everybody with in mind yet? No?
Well, for me, it's going to be the asteroid occultation update.
Okay. And Jerry, you don't have your topic yet?
It'll be an exciting topic, earth-shaking, but I don't know what it is yet.
All right. Well, since it's my prerogative, you don't have to take a vote on 3 at 20 minutes instead of 4 at 15. That's
Right.
fine. You're absolutely right.
You're the
People will-
MC.
People will stretch.
Yep.
We do have to get into a habit of promoting. And I'm going to just quickly run this by Colin before you answer me. You're the man I understand gets in touch with everybody. So if I were to write some little items for the Independent and the news press, the former is the one I can deal with nowadays. I feel like I've been liberated. I'm free from that damn right wing. Never mind.
Okay.
They are down to like 23,000 people subscribing, and they're all, never mind. It's over 100,000 at one time, our newspaper, but all newspapers are going in the toilet. Independent seems to be doing pretty well. It's once a week. So if we promote this, we got just enough time. We might get a pretty good crowd on screen, and I won't run by Tom or ask Totten how we're going to do it, but it's either a webinar or a big, massive Zoom meeting. I personally don't think we're going to get a lot of people on there unless we promote. So Colin, if I send you a standard bulletin that's been run by everybody first, saying what we're doing, can you get it to the people in charge? Do you know how to do that? Have you ever dealt with it?
Oh, yeah, like I said, I maintain 2 lists. I maintain a list of people who want the newsletter and a list of members who want to receive email.
Okay. Well,
And I can send it to either those or whatever.
well,
Okay, Chuck,
obviously, it'll obviously go out to the members and the emails.
Chuck's got his hand up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what the Baron means is we need somebody to talk to the Independent and the newspaper. Is
that's
that what you're going to
right.
do, Baron?
That's right. And that I would see
I've
that
been-
he would make that connection in terms of setting it up with the media. And I will send out the notice. That's what I would do normally, is take any advertisement he has, PDF, Word, whatever. Once you get it done, I can send that to all of the members, yes. But
Okay,
as far as setting it up with the media, I don't normally have to do that. I wouldn't know
Okay.
how to do that.
We
Thank
might
you,
be able
Colin.
to get it on Channel 3 as well. I'm pretty close to John Palmentary these days.
okay.
Oh,
Chuck,
Okay,
Chuck is next with the hand up.
yeah, I've also got a contact with, I don't remember her name, but she's one of the 2 big reporters there. That's the wife of the other guy. Anyway, she has contacted me before and said, if you have any astronomy stuff, please send it in
Okay,
to KYT. And I also used to put notices of at least the star parties that we would hold, the 3rd Fridays at Westmont, the 2nd Saturdays at the museum, and the Telescope Tuesdays at the Big Box. I used to stick those regularly in Ed Hat. So I can continue doing stuff like that. But as far as meetings, I wasn't doing that.
okay. So Chuck, Baron, does that answer your question?
Yeah, but I just got one last question or one last comment.
Beth Farnsworth, sorry, just remembered the name.
Beth. Oh yeah, Beth and CJ. They're friends of mine. I used to have them on the radio. I was contacted by Nick Welch right after I left the radio about 10 months ago, and I ignored him because I thought it would be a hatchet job. I'm more in tune with him thinking wise than I ever have been with these people I've worked for. But now I got in touch with him and he's willing to talk to me, have an interview with me, and maybe even give me a column.
Okay,
So I'll certainly bring up what I'm doing with you guys, and we should start thinking of promote from now on to the whole world, because our club's pretty well known and respected, and
yeah,
you can get a lot of new members. Fair enough.
Yeah, there was something else I know what it was. If you're going to send a list or send like a Zoom link to the members, then it should be in the brochure or something. If you're going to have a Zoom meeting that involves people I'm sending a list to, I need the Zoom link to put in that list, or make sure the Zoom link is in the list so that when I send it, they can join the meeting. You follow me?
Totally.
yeah, that's part of the content. Tom, you've been very patient up there. You have a topic?
I think it was about just not having any contact with the museum yet, how to do the Zoom webinar for our next meeting.
Okay,
And Ron was saying, could we just do a meeting like this in a sense? And you just make the speaker, people would have to make the speaker.
Hi, Pat.
Hello, Pat.
Hi, sorry.
Have the topic speaker in speaker view as opposed to gallery view, which I have right now, seeing the 9 screens. So people could adapt to that. It'd be pretty, I'm not sure if having 50 people, if that should ever happen, what size videos, it'd just be a stream of videos on the side. People have to figure it out that they need to put the speaker in full view on their Zoom screen. I suppose people could be told that with the email message about the meeting coming up. But that's, I just want to say, no contact with museum yet as to doing webinars, who's in handling that.
Oh, not
Go ahead,
really
Chuck.
no contact. It's the case that you sent an email out and they just haven't answered yet.
yeah,
Right, no contact.
No response.
Our
No
official
response.
speaker is that young lady from UCLA on the night of the 4th, so we'll be sending her the Zoom contact.
Well,
Okay.
wait. The night of the 4th is the night we're doing the members' night.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right. It's a month later. I'm sorry.
yeah, she'll be doing that in March.
Got it. You're right.
Okay. Yes, Tom?
I
Tom?
just wanted to mention about sending messages. Oh, we lost Colin. Darn. Oh, no, he is over there.
He's there.
We lost Joe, I think maybe. When I send out the emails for these Zoom announcements, I'm using MailChimp, and I've got the list of members. That last one from probably 2020 list, and also a list of some Telescope Workshop people. So I have 197 people, and MailChimp is kind of interesting in the way that if you have somebody in the contact list, they will, at the bottom of the email, they'll put like, do you want to unsubscribe? And so people who don't want to be contacted, they have an opportunity to remove themselves from that a MailChimp list that I have set up. I'm not sure how many lists I could make in different lists, which is, I haven't looked into that. There might be a way of doing that to separate different groups of people that way. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that so generally for these announcements, for anything that's Zoom related, that I can handle that through the MailChimp with the list of people I have, and just need any updates from you or Chuck as for people who might be outreachers or that are new to the list, that new members that might come on, someone we might know. So that just have to, let me know that, and I'd put those into the MailChimp listing that I have. So I just want to let you guys know how that's been working out. And there was initially a rejection from like Cox and maybe some AOL that they bounced back, like they couldn't get through, because I think these mass mailings, doing this for free, you put out a mass of mail, and if they get 20, 30 emails all at the same time, like Cox does, they'll say, oh, that's too many, and we're going to reject this sender because they're probably sending spam. MailChimp, if we pay for a membership, they will divide up and dribble out the emails so they're not coming all in at one time to Cox or AOL or to whoever,
How much is a subscription?
I don't remember offhand. It's probably, $150 maybe, like Zoom is if we bought your own membership. I'm not sure offhand though. I'd have to look it up. But so that's an option but I haven't had very many bounce backs. So it seems like it's working pretty well. I use my TimC email account at SBAU.org to send out the emails, because they don't like sending out from webmaster email addresses, I guess, something like that. They want some kind of real email address, I guess, for at least for the free mode. I don't know if it changes into if you pay for money for these. I'm not sure what the maximum number of email addresses I can use either. I'm not sure what that is, the free limit at MailChimp, but it's been very convenient. I can kind of resend the emails out, just change a few words, the date and time, maybe something else. And like for this planning meeting, I just duplicated the previous planning meeting message, and I put in some new wording and zoom it out. MailChimped it out, and it seemed to work pretty well. So just wanted to let you know how I was doing that.
Thank you. Tim had his hand up first, then your next, Colin.
Yeah, Tom, I had an entire list of the workshop people, but I would suggest I don't send that to you, because out of that list, we probably only really got the people we have now. So I don't know if I sent that to you or not.
Yeah, you sent that to me. So they're still getting it. Most of them, they haven't rejected it. So they still get it. So.
Okay.
All right.
Next is Tom, Colin was next in line.
My only question is, you probably should be getting an updated list from me of members if you want to make sure the members get this. Because what I see is probably happening is we're keeping multiple lists, and the members may not even be getting a lot of this stuff you're talking about. And that's one of the reasons that you would want to be a member. So however, I know that there are some in my list that are rejected, and I need to clean it up and get a hold of those people by phone and verify their emails. But beyond that, my concern is, are we getting it to all the members?
Tom?
I think we are, Colin. I think the list, the latest list I got from you, which is getting a little bit old, but probably not very. There might be one or two changes, maybe. it seems to be working fine. And so I think we're covering, or as long as I get anything new, I can add it to MailChimp.
Okay.
Well, I haven't updated anything since the virus, so it's good as of January 2020, probably, or something.
Okay. Chuck, you're on.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been getting it from people, Colin, but I've had people email me as outreach and say, hey, I want to join the club. Where do I send my money? What do I do?
Send
And
them
I
to
pretty
me,
much-
I'll put them on.
Yeah, I pretty much said, you can sort of consider yourself a member. We're not collecting dues, but if you send your information to Colin, he'll put you on the list. So
Yeah, I don't get any of their information generally. I might get one or two, but yeah, just have them email me their membership form and I'll put them in the membership.
Okay. Anyone else with anything they want to talk about?
I think we should all, those of us married, have our wives sitting next to us like you and Chuck. Give us single guys something to dream about. But otherwise, aren't we not charging anybody for yearly membership dues at the moment?
No.
So we haven't made any money.
We have no real expenses. We don't need to stockpile money. We have a lot of money from the insurance payoff.
Okay.
I just don't see the need to
Okay.
get payment.
We have to work on the pizza thing, though.
yeah.
Okay.
Chuck?
One thing, when I did that one wedding that was clouded out, we got $5,000 from the Pritzker Foundation. And one of the things they said they wanted us to do is to mention that they help support us.
Okay.
And I think that was geared more toward the museum. I don't know if the museum is using that, but one of the things I'd like to do, like when we have the meeting and I have my bit of talking, I want to talk a little bit about outreach because we got some outreach pins and things to give out. But I also want to do a thanks to the Pritzker Foundation, just on principle.
Okay. Colin?
Just kind of as a side on that, there isn't an account number. I never knew quite what it meant, but it says funds subject to restrictions. And I could see where that could be $5,000 subject to the restriction that we mention the guy or thank the guy or say that put him in the members contribution list or something. That's probably what that accounts for. So we actually even do have an account for that.
Maybe.
But
Good observation. Jim, do you have anything you want to say?
Nothing really. Just
Okay.
still waiting on my LUT solar telescope. So
Okay. Pat?
Well, I just have to, Jim interjected a point about pizza. So we have to work on the pizza part.
You need to have it delivered a slice at a time to everybody on these.
that'll be cheap.
Serial
right.
delivery of slices.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that the only remaining topic I can think of is our estimate of when we might get back to normal. I know we've let it slip every time we've set a date. My expectation from an impression, and I can't quote anyone authoritative, but this Omicron spike, I think, is going to go down as fast as it went up. And don't quote me on that, but my expectation is that somewhere around the spring equinox, we're going to be back to going on outreach. So that will be I know the museum is closed down now for a few weeks, but I think that'll be if people ask us when we're going to start up, say we hope to do it by the spring equinox.
How
So,
many Greek letters are left?
Yeah.
well, the next one is pi. I think after that is rho. And then of course it ends in omega and then you have to start over again.
Well, there is a deltacron.
Oh, gee.
There's I can't remember what country it's in, but they've noticed a genome that has a mixture of the delta and the omicron,
Wow.
but it's not spreading quickly. So they said
Oh.
it didn't inherit omicron's ability in that department.
Okay. Okay. Well, with that in mind, unless anyone else can think of anything, I'm going to adjourn the meeting.
Well, Monday morning, tune in at 11
Yeah.
on YouTube.
when are we having our meetings?
Oh, okay, well,
Board meetings.
it's over. I just poured wine all over myself.
Oh,
I'll take care of it. Just
No,
go
it's
ahead.
okay.
No, I'm gonna go. I'll go get
There,
something.
Jerry, I got a glass
I'm
over here.
Can't take it anywhere.
great, far side, yes.
I think we were planning first Fridays, you know,
Yeah.
to have the meeting Zoom, and second Saturdays to have the planning meeting Zoom like we're doing now.
Yeah,
So
Okay, so the board meeting's the second Saturday.
as always, yes. And,
And star parties are off for indefinitely, right?
yeah, for indefinitely. And Tom sent out a list. Tom, do you want to say something?
Oh, continue your thought there, Jerry.
Oh, Tom sent out a list of the future business meetings, the dates and the start time for the rest of the year. And I think we're going to stick to those. You'll notice that they get a little, the idea has always been that we finish these administrative meetings before the star party. And if we pick up star parties again, then they will occur after it. Of course, after this meeting, we all have to get in our cars and get over there. But we can manage that. So.
and that's why the time changes on them because of the
Yeah.
star parties. You'll notice in Tom's list, they pop to an hour later as we get toward the more sunshine.
Yeah,
Yes, 6 months around the summer and winter equinoxes or whatever they are, solstices. Hey, what was I gonna say? So Ron, we were gonna try to get that Briley lady for March meeting, but we would
Yeah,
need to know that she can be recorded, okay or not, whether she's okay with being recorded and put on YouTube. Otherwise, we should find somebody else.
You mean pre-recorded before she appears or
No.
recording
No.
her appearance? I
Yeah.
can, you mean get her permission? What's the deal?
Yeah, because last time she didn't want to be recorded when she did a meeting with us. So
Oh.
that's my only concern there.
She
And you can tell her that
contacted me.
we might do the meeting live. I don't know if we haven't made a decision whether we do a live meeting or whether we just record whoever's here and then I just post it on YouTube later. We probably could just do it live and see what happens, but
How many pictures of people can you get on a screen with a Zoom meeting like this?
I'm
Well,
not sure.
you can
Well-
get quite a few.
Yeah.
Jim,
I think if you have speaker view, but if you put on speaker view, then you only see a certain number of people onto the side on the border
Oh, I
along the
see.
side. So,
I got you.
but if you use gallery view, then I maybe you can see everybody, all little tiny little thumbnails
Yeah.
of everybody's head.
I just want to be able to see the view graphs, not the audience.
Right,
Tim,
right.
Tim Crawford is,
Okay, Tim?
Yeah, I forgot. I ran into Sean, City College Sean, can't remember his
Kelly.
last name.
Kelly.
Down at the tennis courts, and we started talking up about, going out and looking at the stars and all that. And I mentioned the workshop. So is he on that list of, I'm just curious, is that someone we would want to get on that list for the telescope workshop? I don't know if I mentioned that he would really love seeing some of the astrophotography. And of course, he's got all the City College stuff behind him. So that could get out of hand. I don't know.
I think he's on our membership list. I'm pretty sure that he's on our membership list, so he should be notified every time we have a telescope workshop or a meeting or planning meeting. So I think he's on our
Oh,
list.
very good. All right.
And it goes out in the newsletter. So
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
I was
yes.
I
Tom,
was
go
just
ahead.
looking at our last meeting, trying to see if there's any points that on the action items that were listed, and there was some people were going to try to contact people for speakers,
Yeah,
and
that's up to the Baron.
but you guys had found some other people too,
Yeah.
and
how does the MOU get signed, Jerry?
You what?
How does your MOU get signed? There, you get a copy and you're the one?
No, if you guys have basically agreed to this, I'll send it to Luke. And then if he agrees to the version that we have, I'll sign it and then he'll sign it. And then we'll each have a copy. And I'll give my copy to Colin, the store.
How long is it applicable? Is it years or just 1 year at a time?
Ever.
Yeah, it lasts until it's superseded or amended or changed or withdrawn. You'll notice down there that by mutual agreement, it can be terminated
Ah,
at any time.
didn't say
Oh.
anything, didn't see
Oh.
anything in there about pandemics.
No.
It's like
Tom?
the Constitution.
So Jerry, I'll post my notes. I'll put this meeting on YouTube with my notes I've been taking. And if you want to point out any action items, I'll add that to the comments under the YouTube posting there.
No, we
So-
don't assign action items. We have, anyone who gets an action item has to agree to it. So we run by consensus. So I'm not going to be assigning any.
Well, you wouldn't have to assign. You could ask the person, is this my understanding that you'll take care of this for an action item?
Yeah, but we'll do that behind the scenes so they don't have to embarrass themselves by saying no or something.
Right, you can do that, contact them personally and find out if you got the action items right. I'll put my notes in and
Okay.
highlight something, but you can take a look at that and see if you want to make action items.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this meeting is adjourned at 5:26 p.m.
Jerry, one comment, very important comment before we leave, is
Okay.
that as of this morning, the James Webb Space Telescope was fully deployed,
I saw that, yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
really?
but not yet on station.
No, it's still going towards L2.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
wow.
We're going to talk about it on Monday morning.
Yes, we are.
All right, 11
Okay.
a.m. Tune in.
See you on Monday.
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.